to hear the budgets of the Commission on Audit, or COA, and the Office of the Ombudsman. At the outset, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of one of our committee vice chairs, Senator Nancy Binay. Morning, ma'am. And of course, virtually also present is Senator Robin Padilla. And then we have with us from the Commission on Audit, Commissioner Roland Doc, sir. Commissioner Mario Lipana, sir. Assistant Commissioner Nilda Planas, Director Rebecca Dacanay. We'll acknowledge the presence of the Office of Ombudsman officials. Also have Assistant Ombudsman Layson from the Office of the Ombudsman. Morning, sir. Are the Ombudsman officials virtually or physically present? They're physically. Okay. So we'll call them when it's their turn. So maybe we ask the committee secretary to acknowledge anyone we missed. That's the list I have here.
A pleasant morning, everyone. The committee would like to acknowledge the following resource persons present. For on-site attendees, we have from the Commission on Audit, OIC Supervising Auditor Cynthia B. Ferrer. For the Office of the Ombudsman, we have Deputy Ombudsman Cornelio Sumido, Deputy Ombudsman Jose Balmeo Jr., Deputy Ombudsman Dante Vargas, Deputy Ombudsman Anderson Law, Assistant Ombudsman Vio Mark Ryan Layson, and Chief Administrative Officer Christopher B. Lim. For virtual attendees, we have for the Commission of Audit, Assistant Commissioner Roland Ray, Assistant Commissioner Alexander Juliano, Assistant Commissioner Fortunata Rubico, Assistant Commissioner Roy Ursal, Assistant Commissioner Lorna Cabochan, Assistant Commissioner Cora Lea de la Cruz, Assistant Commissioner Maribeth De Jesus. For our DBM representatives, we have them virtually online. Chief Budget and Management Specialist Lulu Vispo and Merica Joanna de la Peña. And I would also like to inform you, Mr. Chair, that COA Chairperson Jose Calida sent the committee a letter informing us that he is on medical leave. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Comsec. So we'll turn it over to unless any of our senators wish to make any opening remarks.
We can proceed, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Vice Chair Binay. So we'll turn it over, give the floor to our commissioners from COA. Again, good morning and thank you for joining us.
Isang pagbati po ng magandang umaga to the Honorable Chairperson ng Committee of Finance, Senator Sani Angara, and of course to Honorable Vice Chairperson Senator Nancy S. Binay, and to all the members of the committee. As mentioned po, kasamahan ko po dito, taga-COA. And also, as mentioned, we have a letter from our chairperson, Jose Calida, explaining na medyo hindi siya makakapunta because of
We
still
hope Chairperson Calida as well. We wish him, please give him our
sige po.
prayers. I understand he's on medical leave. Thank you,
Thank you
Commissioner.
po. And so this morning, I would like to go directly to our presentation on the proposal of COA, the budget proposal of COA versus the NEP as issued by DBM. Medyo may difference o dun sa inapprove nung NEP compared to our proposal. And that is amounting to personal services of 12 billion, 12.4 billion as NEP approved versus the budget proposal ng COA na 12.9 billion. So a difference of a 455 million decrease in our personal services. And for the MOOE po namin, ang na-approve lang po ng NEP is only 643 million compared to our proposed budget na 911 million 188, or a decrease again of 268 million. Sa capital outlay naman po wala naman hong nagbago, so the same pa rin po. So ang total po na nag-decrease po sa amin is 723 million, and that is why we are requesting this honorable committee na kung pwede po sana ma-restore po yung nawala ho sa amin na 723 million. In fact, we have a letter po dito addressed to the Senate President and through the honorable chairperson of this Committee on Finance, explaining kung bakit ho kailangan po namin ma-restore ho yung 723 million. I think that's all, Mr. Chair, Your Honors.
We'll do our best, Commissioner. Anything else from the commissioners? Anything to add? Any questions from the body? From Vice Chair Binay? How about, can we check with Senator Padilla online? Does he wish to ask question?
Siguro, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, maybe, go ahead, Vice Chair
Siguro,
Binay.
just an update, Mr. Chairman, kasi if I remember it correctly, during last year's budget, can we just get an update to yung kung naka-recruit na ho kayo ng mas madaming auditors? Because parang for the past years, laging problema niyo ho ata yung pagkuha ng auditors.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Your Honor. Itong regarding sa number of employees po namin, although nare-recruit po kami, pero yung separation naman po mas mabilis pa ho doon sa pag-recruit ho namin. Lalo na po doon sa 10-year gap na hindi ho nag-hire noon. So yung karamihan po ng empleyado from COA now nasa age na ho for retirement. So although continuously nag-hire ho kami, lalo na ngayon. So, Your Honor, thank you.
Siguro, para lang ho ma-place into the records, can we get the exact numbers? But if you don't have it right now, kahit isubmit na lang po sa committee.
We will submit, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Any word from Senator Padilla? I suppose he's no longer interested if he's not here. But just for the record, Commissioner, we acknowledge your request. And also to place in the record that this committee and the Senate has increased the COA budget for the last 4 years and probably even longer. So I think going by history, magandang batting average natin. So including last year and 2021, which were during the pandemic, very difficult times fiscally. No? So definitely we accord the highest respect to your our requests. No?
Thank you,
Just
Mr.
for the record, commissioners, ano yung hindi pinagbigyan ng DBM? Just so we know.
One is the personal services po namin. There was a decrease of 455 million. Although galing naman po sa kanila yung approved na plantilla namin, pero nung sa NEP dumating, bumaba pa rin. And also the MOOE. Ang epekto dun sa MOOE, nag-decrease ho kami ng 268 million, and it will affect the operational cost of our provincial satellite auditing offices in the different provinces. So malaki yung epekto sa auditors.
These are all over the country, ho?
Yes.
Yung 10 satellite.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think there are no more questions from the body. So
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve for plenary deliberation the budget of COA.
there's a motion. There's no objection. So the motion is carried, and we will recommend favorably for plenary debates and without prejudice to any possible increases for the budget of the Commission on Audit, COA. So again, we thank Commissioners Pondok and Lipana, Ma'am Plaras, Takanay. Thank you for your presence here this morning. Yeah, thank you very much.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Chair.
Thank you, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
you're free to have coffee. Baka mainit pa po. Morning, Your Honors. We'd like to resume this meeting. We'd like to acknowledge the presence, aside from a while ago, Senator Binay. Physically present ngayon si Senator Padilla and Minority Leader Senator Coco Pimentel. Morning, Your Honors. And of course, from the Office of the Ombudsman, we have none other than the Ombudsman, former Justice Sammy Martirez, sir. Morning. Deputy Ombudsman Cornelio Somido. Morning. Deputy Ombudsman Jose Balmeo Jr., Deputy Ombudsman Dante F. Vargas, and Deputy Ombudsman Anderson Alo. Morning po. And Assistant Ombudsman Weo Mark Ryan Layson. And Chief Administrative Officer Christopher Lim. Any other persons to acknowledge? Okay na? Thank you. So if there's any opening statement from our senators before we give the floor to the Office of the Ombudsman. Sir, Justice Sammy Martirez, you have the floor, sir. Thank you for joining us. I thought we were going to attend virtually, but I think you missed us, sir. You wanted to come in person. But thank you. We're honored by your presence, sir.
Nahihiya ako hindi dumalo dahil dumalo ako sa House of Representatives. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Good morning, Senator Sani Angara. Good morning, Senator Pimentel. Good morning, Senator Binay. Good morning, Senator Padilla. The one who will present our budget will be the Assistant Ombudsman for Finance, Weo Layson.
Go ahead, Assistant Ombudsman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and the Honorable Vice Chair. May we proceed with the presentation of the Office of the Ombudsman's 2023 budget. For the 2023 budget, the recommended budget level by the DBM for the Office of the Ombudsman for fiscal year 2023 is 4.781 billion pesos, which is the same level with that of the current year in conformity with the pronouncement of the Constitution and its enabling law, RA number 6770 on fiscal autonomy, that the appropriations of the office may not be reduced below the amount appropriated from the previous years. Accordingly, it represents 0.0090% of the national expenditure program of 5.268 trillion. The details of the recommendation with comparative figures for 2022 current budget and the 2023 OMB proposal, as well as the 2023 DBM NEP, are summarized as follows. We already For our financial resources, the salient features of the recommendation are as follows. PS level is inclusive of the fourth tranche compensation adjustment per RA number 11466 for field and unfilled positions as of May 12, 2022. 2.0 requirements for the filling up of positions in the amount of 1.2 billion pesos. Provision for pension benefits in the amount of 59.757 million pesos. Number 4, the provision for terminal leave and retirement gratuity benefits as reflected in the table flashed on screen. Number 5, the provision for additional operating requirements to the tune of 562.549 million, including allocation for confidential fund of 51.468 million pesos. Number 6, allocation for various capital outlay requirements in the total amount of 230 million pesos. Further detailed as follows. For ICT equipment, the amount of 142.560 million pesos. Amount of 19.930 million for the acquisition of motor vehicles for use of various OMB offices around the country. 48.758 million pesos for acquisition of new and replacement of depreciated office equipment, furniture, and fixtures. 18.760 million for the acquisition of communication and medical and other property, plant, and equipment. We've also already circulated our expenditure program as comparative from 2021 and 2022, presented as follows on screen. May we go to slide number 15 on our DBM non-recommended special provisions. May we all ask your honor to again include the special provisions which have been deleted from from prior years in the General Appropriations Act. Our special provisions on use of savings and the use of income. This special provision on use of savings had been granted to the Office of the Ombudsman since primarily, okay, as well as the special provision on the organizational structure, Your Honor. These special provisions have been granted to the Office of the Ombudsman since primarily to preserve its guaranteed independence and fiscal autonomy as enshrined in the Constitution. The special provision on the use of income had been granted the office beginning 2014 to partially defray its operational expenses to better improve the delivery of services to its frontline personnel. It is earnestly hoped that the foregoing special provisions again be included in the General Appropriations Bill that will be passed by both houses of Congress. Thank you, Your Honors.
Anything else, Ombudsman?
Well, that's all that we ask on the special provisions, especially on the reorganization of the Ombudsman, organizational structure. We're now in the process of reorganizing the office. Although I am meeting a lot of opposition from the existing personnel, we will pursue the reorganization of the Office of the Ombudsman to speed up the investigation of cases. That is all I can promise this the senators, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you po. Regarding the special provisions, lagi naman natin nilalagay po yun. So I don't think it will be a problem with our colleagues. So we'll turn it over to our colleagues if there's any questions. Vice Chair Binay, anything on your part?
Mr. Chairman, siguro just for clarification, tama po ba you're not requesting for additional budget?
We are actually requesting for an additional budget of about 6 point something billion. But I understand, I must be honest with you, Your Honors, I understand the present predicament of our country, of our government. If it will be hard for the Appropriations Committee to give us an additional budget of what we've been asking, about 6 point something, well, just to maintain the 4.3 billion that we were given this year, we'll be happy for that. But if we can add a little more, we'll also be more than happy. Hindi lang kami humingi talaga, we're not forcing the issue. I understand. Ayoko hong bigyan kayo ng problema kung saan nyo kukuhanin yung pera. I know there are more important projects of the government that has to be funded. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, Senate Vice Chair Binay, Your Honors, for the record, for the last 4 years, we have been, this committee and the Senate has increased the budget of the Office of the Ombudsman. So, in recognition of the important work it performs.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Siguro po, just in case po magawa naming paraan, maybe pwede ho isubmit sa committee kung ano ho yung wish list ng Ombudsman para ho through the intervention of our chairman, baka ho magawa ng paraan. Yun lang po, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Yes, that would be welcome. If the Ombudsman could address a letter to the committee and setting forth the desired modifications, sir.
We will do that, Your Honor.
Senator Robin, may tanong ho kayo? Okay.
Magandang umaga po, mahal na tagapangulo at sa pangalawang tagapangulo. Isang mabuhay po sa ating mga bisita. Ako po naliligayahan lamang dahil sa tagal ko pong naupo dito, ay ngayon lang ako nakarinig ng ganun napakaganda ng sinabi ng ating ombudsman na ayaw nilang magbigay ng problema sa ating bayan at mas magandang ibigay na lang ng gobyerno yung ibang nangangailangan na opisina. Napakaganda po. At madalas ko po kasing nadinig dito, kulang sila sa budget at nagmamakaawa sila sa budget. Pero maraming salamat po at nakadinig po tayo ng ahensya ng gobyerno na naiintindihan ang kalagayan ng ating inang bayang Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. May tanong lang po sana ako, Chairman. Opo, ito pong nakaraang bagyo, napansin ko po, marami po sa mga bagong proyekto Ito naman po sinabi sa akin lang na ikwento lang po ng mga nasa local government, ng mga tao, yung pong mga bagong gawa ng mga construction, sila yung unang nasisira. Ito pong bagyo, napakadami po yung mga bagong gawa, sira. Dala mga bubong, nagbagsakan, ganun. Paano po ba ang sitwasyon ng ombudsman? Paano po ba kakasuhan itong mga taong ito na obvious po na substandard yung mga ginamit na mga kagamitan po? Paano po ba ang sitwasyon po niyan?
Your Honor, una gusto ko munang pasalamatan si Senator Angara na throughout these years na siya po ang chairman ng appropriation, hindi niya pinabayaan ang opisina ng ombudsman pagdating sa budget. Kanya't ngayon, ayokong bigyan ng dagdag sakit ng ulo ang kanyang mga problema tungkol sa appropriation sa budget ng ombudsman. Hinggil po sa katanungan ninyo, naghihintay lang po kami ng mga reklamo. In fact, meron ho ako natanggap na reklamo na sabi substandard yung construction. Kanya at paano namin masasabing substandard ang mismong DPWH na nagsabi na in accordance with the standards. Na tama yung bakal, tama yung hollow blocks. So, saan ho kami pupunta para may magsabi sa amin na talagang ito'y substandard? Yung politiko na nagsasabi sa amin na substandard, I mean a local politician na nagsasabing substandard, o yung DPWH na siyang nangangasiwa ng proyekto at nagsasabing hindi substandard. Alam ko po yan ang inyong concern, kagagalang na Robin Padilla, na malimit po noong araw na sana hindi na po ginagawa ngayon, lalo na sa mga barangay roads. Pag sinabi po 6 inches ang kapal, yung 6 inches po ay sa gilid yun. Habang pumapunta sa gitna, nagiging 3 pulgada na lang po yun. Alam ko po yun dahil lang kontrata po ako noong araw. At marami po akong alam ng mga kontratista nung ako'y nagpa-practice pa na yun ang ginagawa, 6 inches sa labas at 3 inches sa gitna. Pag magboboy ang COA para tingnan kung ng standard, ituturo kung saan sila magbubutas. Hindi dito sa gitna. At kalimitang pangaho, yung daya sa kalsada ay doon ho sa sinasabi na base course, yung sub-base o base course. Kasi yung mga graba po, lalo na kung pagdaan ng panahon, ay pag natabunan ng semento, lumulubog na ho yung mga graba. So hindi na ho masasabi na yung 1 cubic meter na kailangan ilatag nyo sa kalsada ay talagang 1 cubic meter. Baka 1 cubic inch lang ho. Marami yung problema sa opisina ng ombudsman, marami yung reklamo. Ang problema lang po, wala kami mahagilap na mga ebidensya. Actually, this is not just the concern of anyone. Ito po ay talagang malaki kong problema at kung minsan ay gusto ko na magbitaw sa serbisyo dahil parang wala hong nangyayari sa laban ng gobyerno sa korupsyon. Hindi ho kailangan yung ating sinasabi mga batas na nilalatag because these are the facts. Yung tinatawag na yung batas natin pag natapos na yung krimen. Ang kailangan natin mga batas, yung batas na magsisimula mula ng maliit pang isang Pilipino, natuturuan na ho ng tamang ugali. Tuturuan na ho ng tamang yung tinatawag po na good manners and right conduct. But I believe that good manners and right conduct must be taught, Your Honor, through religious education. Wala ho yung religious education. Tuturuan ho ng teacher yung bata. Yan nagtuturo naman ng teacher pagdating ho ng hapon ay lasing na. Paano maniniwala ang isang bata sa ganong klaseng magtuturo ng good manners and right conduct? O yung teacher sa isang maliit na bayan is noted to be maraming utang. So paano maniniwala ang bata? We have to be serious in our fight against corruption, but we have to start from the basic, Your Honor, which is religious education. Yung mga batas nating 3019 forfeiture laws, wala ho yun. Yung tinatawag na after the fact po eh. Parang krimen ng murder ay nandun ho yung sa batas sa revised penal code. At naganap na yung krimen. Ang gawin po natin, pigilan natin wag makagawa ng krimen. Kanya nga po sa ombudsman, may slogan po kaming ginawa, na ang taong may takot sa Diyos ay hindi gagawa ng masama. Ang korupsyon ay masama. Pwede niyang sabahin doon, ang pumatay ay masama. Ang magnakaw ay masama. Ang nakayapid sa hindi niya asawa ay masama. Ang pinaka-basic ko, ang taong may takot sa Diyos ay hindi gagawa ng masama. Yun po sana. Hindi ko po kaya, kagalang-galang at aking idolo na Robin Padilla, hindi ko po kayang labanan o sino man opisyal ng gobyerno ang korupsyon. Nandun na po yun. Kayo po ba'y maniniwala na mayroong isang empleyado ng kanyang item ay security guard? At ang kanyang deposito sa bangko ay 280 million pesos for the past 21 years? At ang kanyang asawa for the past 8 years ay nakapagtala o may deposito sa bangko na 179 million pesos? Security guard lang po yung asawa. Siguro ang mga kikita lang ng mga ganong klaseng pera,
Sir, sabihin niyo na lang ano yung opisina, baka may gusto mag-apply ho doon.
mahirap po kasi yung kaso po ngayon ay ipa-file pa lang po namin sa Ombudsman ay sa Sandigan Bayan. But the item of this person is just a mere security guard with 290 million pesos for the past 21 years. And the wife has 170 million pesos, about 179 million pesos plus, which was deposited 8 years ago. Hanggang ngayon po, patuloy yun. So, talagang talamak, nasa dugo na yata. Yung inggit ang pinakamahirap po. Kagalang-galang na aking idolo.
Maraming salamat po, Ombudsman Samuel Martires. Napakasarap pong pakiramdam na kakampi natin ang opisina ng Ombudsman. Maraming salamat po, mahal na tagapangulo.
Salamat din po, Idol Senator Robin Padilla. Thank you, Ombudsman. Before we turn it over to our distinguished minority leader, just want to manifest that I was told by our majority leader, Senator Joel, that he's fully supportive of the budget of the Office of the Ombudsman and in fact supports any possible increase, no? Just for the record. Taon-taon po yan, alam ni Ombudsman na sa amin po yan. So now we give the floor to our distinguished minority leader, sir.
Mr. Chairman, magandang umaga po, Mr. Ombudsman, and to the entire office who are here. Well, una sa lahat, this representation will be fully supportive of your budget. 4.78 billion pesos more or less.
Thank you.
The mere fact na hindi kayo humingi ng increase because alam nyo na ang sitwasyon ng finances ng gobyerno is reason enough to support the budget and find ways to increase it. Kasi nakikita na ito yung ahensya ng gobyerno na masinop, matipid, at saka hindi aksaya. Tatanggap lang kung meron talagang idadagdag at may mahanap na madadagdag. So ang napansin ko po sa pag-design ninyo ng Office of the Ombudsman ng kanyang mga programs, I think you have four major programs. Sufficient na ba ang funding nitong apat na ito at kung saan kayo doon ang posible pa maka-absorb pa ng more resources na programa so that we can improve the fight against corruption, Mr. Ombudsman?
Good morning, Senator Pimentel. Maraming salamat sa suporta ninyo. Sa pananaw ko, sufisyente yung pondo ng Ombudsman. Pero kung sa paglaban sa korupsyon, ay hindi talaga kakayanin to kahit bigyan nyo kami ng 100 bilyon piso, ay hindi namin kakayanan labanan ng korupsyon. I must admit to you, Your Honor, this is not to destroy the office of the Ombudsman, but we ourselves are fighting corruption within the office. Hindi ko ipagkakaila yon. Kami mismo, mga katabi ko rito, we are fighting corruption within the office. So, hindi namin pwedeng sabihin na yung ahensya ng gobyerno yung corrupt. Dahil kami mismo may problema sa korupsyon. May mga empleyado rin po kaming corrupt. Ang problema lang po ay hindi namin sila mahanapan ng konkretong ebidensya. Ginawa ko na lahat ang paraan, pero napakagagaling, hindi ho gumagamit ng cellphone, hindi ho gumagamit lang landline, nakikipagkita sa mga restaurant, sa isang Chinese restaurant na sikat along EDSA. Hindi naman ho namin matap yung usapan dahil ayaw kaming payagan ng chief ng security. Marami ho. I mean, that's why I'm saying, kahit 100 bilyon ang ibigay ninyo sa amin, hindi ho namin kakayanin na labanan ang korupsyon. Sufficiente ho. The programs that were undertaken right now, the budget is sufficient. There is just one program which the Ombudsman has forgotten for the past 30 years or more, and that is to address the causes of inefficiency and red tape. Alam ko po, nagpasa po ang Kongreso ng anti-red tape law. Ako po'y nanahimik. Ayoko po makipag-away. Pero ngayon po ay hinihiling ko the repeal of the anti-red tape law that created the ARTA, because ARTA has encroached on the powers of the Ombudsman to determine the causes of inefficiency and red tape in the government. While we are undertaking right now that function to address yung red tape, ay mayroon isang ahensya na gumagawa rin. Wala ho kong problema doon. Kanya lang yung aming naisip na mga policies ay mga simpleng policies lang po. This will give the local government units and the department heads the authority to discipline its own men. Not for the Ombudsman to say na kayo ay nagkasala, no. Bibigyan namin sila ayon sa kanilang according to the procedure that they have laid down. We will not interfere in the quasi-judicial functions of any government agency, Your Honor. Sufficiente po ito, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ombudsman. Hindi ma-accommodate itong nasa isip niyo po yung a program to address the causes of inefficiency and red tape, hindi ma-accommodate sa current 4 programs mo. Kailangan gawin natin as a fifth pillar yon of the Office of the Ombudsman. Gawin po natin habang andyan pa kayo. Is the Ombudsman with a term? Term bang Ombudsman?
Hanggang 2025 po ako, Your Honor.
So we should do it
before the end of the year, tapos na ho yun, yung to determine the causes of inefficiency and red tape.
So will it be a 5th program of the Office of the Ombudsman, or naging ano lang siya, naging sub-program siya ng isa sa 4?
The corruption prevention, Your Honor.
Corruption prevention.
Yes.
Okay, so good, tama. So you have ipagkasya nyo na lang doon, around less than 100 million ng ano nyo dyan, ano?
Okay lang naman, Your Honor.
Opo,
Natawag
sige.
na pag maiksi ang kumot, mamaluktot.
Sige, Mr. Ombudsman, you are a reformer. You still have a couple of years dyan. Try your best to reform your agency. Naramdaman nyo at least na may corruption din sa loob ng anti-corruption body. Ganyan naman po talaga style dito sa Pilipinas. Pagka papasukan ng sindikato talaga yung ahensyang binuo para labanan ng sindikato o buwagin ng sindikato, sukan nila ng tao nila yan. Talagang ganun. Kaya nga dapat siguro meron kang meron ka naman pong confidential fund na 51 million, maybe you can use that in your, parang, ano ba yung tawag mo dyan, internal affairs or kung sa military, ano ito, counterintelligence, where you check your own people. Yan siguro, Mr. Ombudsman, if you can give us a report next year, how that confidential fund was used, if it was efficiently and effectively used, yan, pwedeng, ako I'm against increasing intel and confidential funds, pero if this is the one example of good use, na pakita ninyo na nalabas ninyo yung inyong mga rotten or bad eggs sa loob mismo ng ahensya. But I'm sure, siyempre, pinasok talaga yan. Nagaganon po talaga. Kung yung anti-drugs, papasukan ng mga drug syndicate yan. Ano pa ba? Lahat yan. Talagang style po yan. Style Pilipinas. At mabuti, aware ang ating ombudsman at for the remaining years of your term, sir, labanan niyo na po yan. I mean, talagang upakan niyo po dyan sa loob po ng ombudsman. But Mr. Ombudsman, parang yung tinitignan ko namin yung targets po natin or parang mababa. When we set targets, they're quite low. Do you agree with me na medyo mababa? And why do we do this, Mr. Ombudsman? Anong example ng low target lang? Yung ilang percent yung
Your Honor,
yes, sir.
kaya mababa yung aming projections ngayon dahil naapektuhan kami ng pandemic and this was based on the prior years. For the past 3 years talagang bumaba po ang aming output of performance. The constant lockdowns, the constant work from home, talagang nakababa, including the investigation of cases. But it gave me also a glimpse that in the investigation of cases, we don't have to go to the provinces to investigate. All we have to do is use the processes, which is the issuance of subpoena, Your Honor. Pupulitin po namin na higitan pa ito. Sa tulong po ng 4 na Deputy Ombudsman, overall mga Deputy Ombudsman na nandito ngayon, the military, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, pilitin namin. Higitan po itong projections namin ngayon. Napakababa nga po pag tininan.
Pero Mr. Ombudsman, ang okay lang yung bumaba ang actual kasi nga may pandemic. Actual yung report nun eh. Ang aking problema, mababa yung target. Ngayon, 2023 target. Baba eh. Hindi, i-challenge natin sarili natin, taasan natin, target eh. Diba? Kasi otherwise, actually, Mr. Chairman, yun na na-realize ko dun sa hearing natin sa judiciary. Reklamo kasi sir is sa judiciary, bagal lang takbo ng kaso, walang nakakaramdam na umaasenso kaso nila, which may also be true sa mga pending cases sa inyo, sa docket ninyo. Kasi nga, na-realize ko na, ang budget process pala, magsiset ng target, ng number of cases to be resolved, ang actual achievement is just a percentage of the target, but the target is just a minuscule percentage of the total pending cases. Patay tayo yan. Kung pagpapatuloy natin yung maling klaseng sistema na yan, Diyos ko, hindi mararamdaman ng justice system sa ating bansa. Siguro, as many, ang target natin, as many. Let us not constrain ourselves with a very, very low target. So yun lang po, it's just a word of advice na iba yung accomplishment report sa target. Then you explain mababa accomplishment because of the pandemic. Hindi yung we will target very low because of the pandemic. Okay. Sana target get very high, then be accurate with the report. Pero kung ma-accomplish naman, the kudos to and congratulations to the agency. Di ba? Very, very efficient with the use of the people's money. Well, at any rate, Mr. Ombudsman, yun lang po yung napansin ko lang po. And then, I've noticed that you will be filling up positions. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good, very good. How many unfilled positions po ba ngayon sa Ombudsman?
We have about 1,101, Your Honor.
And this will be distributed nationwide na mga
Nationwide.
positions po na ito?
Yes, Your Honor. But we are in the process of reorganization, actually. There will be some departments or divisions that will be collapsed. And another division will be created. This is to speed up the investigation of cases. Your Honor, I am fighting a culture,
Yeah.
a system in the office of the Ombudsman that has been in practice for the past 30 years or more, as I said. I will cite to you an example that since the Ombudsman was created under the 1987 Constitution and under Republic Act 6770, the Ombudsman then, Justice Vasquez, issued Administrative Order Number 7. And in Administrative Order Number 7, nakalagay po doon na pagdating sa administrative cases ay dapat magkaroon ng hearing. Hindi po ito ginawa. Hindi po ito ginagawa ng opisina ng Ombudsman na siyang gusto ko ngayong gawin. Kanya't may mga opisina akong i-collapse to be able to address this issue. Ang sabi lang po nila, kaya hindi nila ginagawa because of a decision of the Supreme Court that says that there is no need for a hearing in administrative case. Yung decision po yun ng Supreme Court ay inalis po from an American jurisprudence which says that procedural due process, the requirement is notice and hearing. Sabi sa American jurisprudence, hearing can be dispensed with if the respondent waives the right. Dito sa naging desisyon na wala ho yung waives the right. So yun ang sinusunod ng Ombudsman. Pero mali po yun because the decision of the Supreme Court cannot interfere or amend or modify a procedure of the office of the Ombudsman which under the Constitution was given the power to promulgate its own rules and regulations. So not even the decision of the Supreme Court say hindi pwede yan. No, that's why I want to continue with this to be fair all government employees na may mga kaso sa Ombudsman. Biro niyo po dismissal from the service. What is the basis of the office of the Ombudsman? Only the counter affidavits and the affidavits. There is no clarificatory hearing. Napaka-importante po ng clarificatory hearing dahil doon maliliwanagan po yung investigador na may pagkakamali pala dito. You'll be able to see the demeanor of the witnesses that is presented. Kaya marami po, I must admit, marami pong tao sa gobyerno ang nabiktima ng opisina ng Ombudsman. May magagalit na naman sa aking sinabi ngayon. Pero totoo po yun. Totoo po yun. Na ngayon iniiwasan ko yun. Ayokong ulitin yung mga nangyaring kamalian sa mga nakaraan. Gusto kong baguhin ngayon. Pero ang nilalabanan ko nga as saying, is a system, a culture. Nakaugalian po. Napakahirap pong baguhin. Dahil ang kausap ko dito mga tao. Katulad po nyo nung sinasabing top-heavy ang Office of the Ombudsman. Pagpasok ko po, top-heavy talaga ang Office of the Ombudsman. What is the hiring rate of lawyers? Salary grade 26. Well, DOJ and PAO is only about 24, 25. Kaya yung 26 is director level na po yun. Yun pong hiring rate ng lawyers. Mayroon kami mga acting directors that were created. Hindi ko naman pwedeng i-abolish yung mga posisyon na yun. This is a problem that I am really confronted
Sige po,
with.
Ombudsman.
With the permission of Minority Leader, with your indulgence, ano po yung Supreme Court case ho na yun? And when was that decided?
I think this was decided during the 90s, I think.
1990.
And if I am not mistaken, the ponente of one of these cases, the ponente is Justice Helen Gutierrez.
Case title, sir. Hindi niyo maalala.
Hindi ko po
Hindi na,
maalala eh.
sige,
Pero
research
nagsunod-sunod po yun.
Research na lang wala.
Or pwedeng pagbalik niyo sa opisina, i-communicate na lang po
Opo,
sa
you can inform
sa
us.
committee. Sige.
Just to, if you don't mind, just a minute to take in the import of what you said, Mr. Ombudsman. Yung pong sinasabi niyo is you can disqualify, for instance, a elected official on an admin case and not require any hearing of any sort.
That has been the practice 30 years ago.
Opo. So that official will be deprived of all, the right to run for office, the
Yes.
right, he's perpetually disqualified
Yes.
based on administrative process which does not require a hearing, just based parang judgment on the pleadings o yan.
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, if I may add, from the decision of the Ombudsman, the respondent goes to the Court of Appeals. Malimit, the Court of Appeals reverses the office of the Ombudsman. That is already set in na yung double jeopardy. But the Ombudsman before would still go up to the Supreme Court to question the decision of the Court of Appeals na hindi na dapat. Hindi matanggap ng mga nakaraang Ombudsman ang pagkatalo. Ako ngayon, nireverse kami ng Court of Appeals, so be it. An administrative cases,
The
because
reversal usually is based on insufficiency of evidence. Oh.
insufficiency of evidence, or wrong appreciation of evidence.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, with the indulgence of, with the permission of
Siguro just to-
Minority Leader. Go ahead, Vice Chair Bill.
Just to confirm dun sa mga sinabi ni Ombudsman Martires, because a family member of mine experienced that unfair Ombudsman ruling. Yun lang po, Mr. Chairman.
So it's confirmed, Your Honor. Thank you for that.
So, thank you for bringing that to our attention, Mr. Ombudsman. And I'm sure sa changes na gagawin niyo, you'll take advantage of technology din naman, no? Technology. The hearing is technology aided. Pwede, di ba? Allowed yun. So anyway, Mr. Ombudsman, ito naalala ko yung Ombudsman law natin requires the distribution ng position sa Ombudsman among the regions. You know, is that vision of law still being observed by the office?
Yes, Your Honor, because it is a constitutional provision. Therefore, we have the Deputy Ombudsman for Luzon, and then
Yes, ito sa deputy. Pero even sa personnel yata, even sa personnel ng Office of the Ombudsman, dapat well represented po mga regions natin diyan. Take a look at your law, Mr. Ombudsman. Parang naalala ko yan when I read your law. And if it's still valid law, let's observe it. Siguro nga walang region gaining control of the Office of the Ombudsman. Pati mga tao dapat well distributed yan eh. So at any rate, we wish you all the best, Mr. Ombudsman. Continue to be a reformer in spite of all the difficulties. Talagang ganon, mahirap talaga. But andito kami magtutulungan po namin kayo. And yun lang po, last pakiusap when we set targets for next year. Let's be more bold and ambitious targets. But be accurate in the reporting. Diba? Okay, so thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Your Honor.
Salamat, Minority Leader. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Chair of the Committees on Defense, Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Morning, sir. Tapos na po ang lahat ng dito magtanong. Baka gusto niyo, you have any statement or question for the Ombudsman, Justice Martires? Kasi kung hindi, i-adjourn na ho natin.
Masaya ba sila sa budget nila?
Apo.
Okay, game.
Vice Chair Binay, anything else? So we can let the Office of the Ombudsman. Marami pa silang trabaho.
I
Yes, go
move
ahead, ma'am.
to approve for plenary deliberation the budget of the Ombudsman.
Without prejudice to any increases in the budget. So salamat po, Your Honor. Mahirap po ang trabaho niyo, so we wish you luck
Marami po
And salamat po sa pagpunta.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.